program of the IDP of TANUVAS. So this is a program as a part of the IDP of TANUVAS, which we are inviting experts from different fields to come and share their experience of the different kind of activities they carry out. This is a series of lecture, and today is the last lecture of the series for the month of October 2021. We have heard from a small animal vet, lab animal vet, pharma industry vet, and then we have heard about a equine vet. So to continue with that series of lectures, today we have one of the eminent expert in the field of swine management, Dr. Kannan. So to briefly introduce Dr. Kannan, Dr. Kannan was born in 1968 at Rajapalayam in Tamil Nadu. He has completed his undergraduation at Madras University College in 1992, post-graduation at Kerala Agri University, Thrissur in 94, PhD again at Kerala Agri University, Thrissur in 2005, specializing in livestock production and management. Dr. Kannan started his career as a production manager in Meat Product of India Limited at Ernakulam in the year 1994. He joined as assistant professor at KAU, Kerala Agri University, Thrissur in 1996. At present, he is working as assistant professor in the Department of Livestock Production Management, College of Veterinary Animal Sciences, Manuti, K. Vasu, Pukot. Dr. Kannan specializes in farming system research, which is abbreviated as FSR, swine production, stress management studies, and fodder production systems. He has established various infrastructures in various college and research stations across Kerala. Dr. Kannan so far has guided 12 postgraduate scholars, 3 doctorate scholars in the field of LPM. He has published 52 research papers, including 3 international papers, and also has authored 4 books. Dr. Kannan has completed 12 projects amounting to 6 crores, sponsored by various agencies. He was instrumental in developing technologies like integrated farming system model and pig husbandry health kit. He also facilitated platform for developing cooperatives for pig farmers across Kerala. I'm sure that with Dr. Kannan's vast experience in swine industry over the last 20 years or 25 years, he should be able to convey the message of how to be a successful pig farm veterinarian. With these words of introduction, I'm very, very happy to introduce and welcome Dr. Kannan, who has graciously accepted the invitation. Now over to you, Kannan. You can start your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Namaskar, sir. Dr. Sangran, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Audible? I am audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please carry on.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I thank to offering a platform to share my experience to my alma mater and my beloved students and the authorities, ICR, and the subsidiary organization and the Madras Veterinary College, TANUVAS also. Okay. Today's session is allotted for me to share my experience to before the students as a skill development program. So in that, first of all, I have worked as like you, a student, as my BVEC graduate, MEC graduate, and I have gained knowledges from my predecessor and my own experience. Now I am sharing as a base. From that, on interaction, I can share more thing which you want require. So it's only tailor-made presentation. So people who knows don't need, we can expand all our my experience. Okay, now we'll go by one my topic. Next. So as you know, first of all, you should understand how the swine in the part of history, it came to our civilized community. So civilization starts from, you know that it is all the riverbed from Mesopotamic region. The civilization started, followed by both western and eastern side of the Mesopotamic region. Just like European and our Indus Valley, like that, all the civilization started. Along with the civilization, domestication process also started. So in the domestication, as you know, that the dog is the pioneer, the domestication. Along with the dog, pig, it is along with even the civilization itself, we can say the pig came descended from. It is highly socialized animal. It's a highly socialized animal. And even some extent we can go apart from the ahead of, even I can rank to the dog. The pig, he can ahead of the dog, the pig can be ranked as a socialized animal. So as a part of civilization and part of domestication, it has been descended from the wild to the civilized community. So 40 million years, 40 million years ago, it started. And we have, as a civilized community and of the development of science and technology, and FAO, by late 1970, it is earmarked as the food animal. Pig is a food animal, and moreover, apart from the food animal, it is also biofactory on hooves. Means it is the biofactory on hooves which can produce food with the available bioagricultural waste. That's why the name is given by FAO. In 1970s itself, the pig has earned that name. So apart from that food animal, and as the year goes on, and pharmaceutical industries has been utilized this pig for the various purpose. As you know, all the pharmacodynamics or pharmacokinetics works, and the pig has been involved. Followed by pharmaceutical companies, and the vaccine production also it has been used. And as days gone, during the early 2000 or even late 90s, the pig has been considered as a pet animal. It's one of the best companion animal. And as you know, the recent days, even some 20 years back itself, the pig used as a sniffers, and it can identify all the narcotics, ammunition, all those areas. And nowadays, presently, even the cancer detection or even COVID patient can identify. So that much capacity, the history it has from 40 million years ago. It started from as only a food animal, and it is passaged or carried, transformed to many areas. And now it stands as a multifaceted personalities. Okay, next. So once you know the pig as all the different category as I enumerated earlier, so we should know how it is evolved from the wild in nature. So it is evolved from the wild as a feral pigs in the different agroclimatic region of the global region. And you know that the pig has some that is it is descended from the Artiodactyla, and Artiodactyla means hoofed animal. That cloven-footed animal, it comes under comes under mammal and placental carrying animal and cloven-footed animal. And the cloven-footed animal, this has been a special feature of monogastric. Cloven-footed animal, it comes under monogastric, and classification, it comes under that Suidae family. And Suidae genus is Sus, and Sus profa is a wild character. Sus domesticus is a domesticated. So in the picture, as you know, all these Sus profa means that all the region wise that the different names are assigned. As you know, the family genus name is derived from the region wise. Okay, next. So once you know the history and evolution, and the swine farming is as a diversified. Swine farming is diversified in the globally. Globally, the swine farms are diversified. So these are the picture. It is self-explanatory. The pigs are still, it is rearing as a scavenger. It is just a scavenging nomadic pattern. Still, it is going on. It is persist still now. Another one is homestead farming. Homestead farming. This one is a homestead farming. We can keep the animal in our premises, and you put the feed into the premises, and the animal will rear. And this is a homestead farming. It is something. It's a commercial. It's a commercial. Density will be more. And this is a specialized farming. Specialized farming is mean you should know that the 70 to 80% of all the inputs will be centered in the house, and animal is given high intensity. So this is a specialized farm. So these are the different diversified farming is existed in globally. And in India, these three categories are still it is persistent. Both is scavenging, nomadic pattern, and homestead farming, and commercial way at this one. And very few, one or two in the, if you take entire country, one or three, few numbers only, they are trying to be a specialist farming. The pig farming is they started now, but I don't know about the profitability or the constraint what they feel. Next, so before going for handling the pigs, you should know what are the special feature it has. So pig is as you know, is a high growth rate and high feed gain, high conversion efficiency among the livestock. Rank first. It is a rank first among the livestock. It is a rank 1 in the as you know, that is a growth rate and feed gain, feed conversion efficiency. And into that, added to that, the feeding behavior is omnivorous. Omnivorous means it will take both vegetarian, non-vegetarian diet. And in order to that also, it is a scavenger. It is a scavenger. It will search the food on its own and it will find the food. Order to that, it has a high well-developed snout with a high olfaction. So with this instrument, ordered feature, it can find the food even to the below the ground level, even up to the 1 to 3 meter level. It can find it with the tubers and it will search the food. And even to the aerial distance, even up to 3 to 5 kilometer radius, it can find the food, dead cadaver somewhere it is. So it can sniff out and it will take the food. So that much capacity the animal has. It is everything ordered to that high growth rate and conversion ratio. And as I told in the first one. And next feature is it is having a high prolificacy. High prolificacy means it can produce high biomass quantity in a shorter generation interval. The pig ranks the first. So you know that prolificacy means number of M1 produced in a furrowing. And that is in a generation, in a short generation level, and the pig stands first, high prolificacy. This high growth rate and high prolificacy, it is what it will have. It has the high metabolism action. High metabolism action will lead to the high metabolic heat. Heat increment will be more. So this heat increment, animal cannot recoup because it has poor thermoregulatory mechanism. So just bear in mind, animal has the two major advantage. As you know, that is high growth rate and high prolification rate. Since it is a biological system, it has the high heat increment. The high heat increment, it cannot dissipate or it cannot able to regulate on its own because of the system is made like that. Animal can store the fat subcutaneous, so it is a insulated. It is a insulated body. Because of insulation, because subcutaneous fat, it cannot dissipate the heat in the body, and it's the only organ to dissipate the heat. It is only respiratory organ, lungs and the upper respiratory system. That high respiration rate, with this only animal can dissipate heat more. So that organ is more prone for infection or some heat stress. And this, because of conductivity low, animal prefer to be taking wallowing. So if with the wallowing also, it cannot dissipate. As I told you, because of the high insulation, conductivity is very less. Okay. So this is a thing, I can say it is a disadvantage, and it is moreover, it is advantage too. It is conserve the energy in subcutaneous fat. In the lean period, it can take the energy from on its own. So it can sustain. It is a versatile animal. Even to the heavy, severe drought, animal can withstand. So this is the third photo, this photograph. And the very important one is, pig is a simulated model of human being. It's a very, very important. As I told you in the history slide, is a simulated model of human being. You can simulate anything, everything as a human. So you can do the research on the physiological, all the studies, and psychological studies, sociological studies, and pharmaceutical studies, and even organ transplantation. You can do it. In the recent days, you have the success story of kidney replantation. And 25 years back, successfully we have transplanted a valve and the entire pig valve, it's entire pig heart itself transplanted. So these are the success, the special feature of the pigs. If you, after knowing these things, you can get into the next session. So this is a global scenario of the pig industry. Global scenario of the pig industry is a present data as per 2021. China is leading. China's leading, and followed by European and United States and South America, Brazil. But this is not the picture while in the 70s, and while I am studying, European is the leader. Well, when I am the graduate during early late 80s and early 90s period, European is the leader, and followed by United States, and China was the third, that time. And the change in the scenario because of the legislation enforced by the European Union and America. Legislation enforced to the pig farming. You know that pig farming means, as told you in the earlier, the global scenario, Europe and the United States farming are, it is a highly specialized farming, highly intensified. And the waste production also highly intensified. That is a menace. The waste disposal and waste handling of the pig farming, it is a highly headache problem in the United States and European because of the stringent legislation. The people are finding difficulty to run the farming aspect in Europe and the United States. And this is why the China taken the lead, the opportunity, they have taken the lead. Now they are a pioneer in the pig production. With that, now it is going on. And you know that the present day, the China also facing the problem of new emerging diseases, and all the stringent legislation also slowly will be enforced. So this is a global scenario. If you come to the India, you see the global scenario, the backyard, as told, you know, even small backyard and small scale and commercial. This is a distribution of the Indian farming sector. And here one thing I want to tell you, our population still it is with the crossbreed line. Exotic means we don't have the exotic, only research station having that. That is also, it is not the pure bred, it is a graded one. Only crossbreed animal we have, entire with the farmer's hand, we have crossbreed animal. If you compare with that, around 20% only, we have only crossbreed animal. Remaining around 70 to 80% still we are with the Desi indigenous breed. So we have the immense potential to improve our pigs with the exotic blood. We can improve the many things, both in the matter of pork production and even lean meat production. By the way, we can improve the livelihood and economic status of the downtrodden people. So as you know, the pig farming, earlier they said it is with the backward people and the downtrodden people. That's why people never come to consume the pork itself. Though they are delicious, they won't come, and they won't take the ventures. But nowadays things are changing because of the economy. It's giving the very good returns in the small investment. The pigs is getting more income to the farmers. People are ventured into it. Now it is come to as a commercial pig farms are coming, and now all the communities are taken. If you know, all the peri-urban of the or semi-urban or peri-urban of the all the city throughout our Tamil Nadu or even to any states, all the peri-urban area, the pig farms are flowering up. Next. if you take the Indian scenario of the population distribution, all the northeastern place, that Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, and the Jharkhand, West Bengal, Bihar, up to Chhattisgarh, Eastern UP is a major chunk of the our population they have. So if you take the northern India people, they still have the affinity towards the black coated color. Still they are prefer only Desi or color breeds. Now we have introduced Duroc, and earlier that Hampshire Berkshires are they have the role, but nowadays they don't have that lion. The sire lion is vanished, and only with the Duroc blooded animals now they have the affinity. But even then, for the sustainability, the Desi pigs play the major role. All the northeastern area, even Bihar, Chhattisgarh area, it is giving the wonderful answer for their sustainability. And the scope is we can go for crossbreeding and improve the productivity, and you can enhance the farmer's income. This is a message we can give with this slide. This is a global scenario. I will give you the small information that. So these pigs, as I told, this is a temperate, preferred to be a temperate animal. I told you, a pig has the poor thermoregulator, so it has the affinity to be a temperate breeds. So that's why mostly on temperate region is a China, US, Europe, and China. Okay, so these are the major players in the population wise and activity wise. And the southeastern region, if you see the equatorial region, all the Philippines and the Indonesia and this Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and all this southeastern place, Cambodia, Vietnam, it's only backward countries, but in that country, the pig is giving the viable and sustainability of the people. It is answering. The only species will answer piggery. With this slide, though they have the population, if you see the slaughtering, US, China, Europe, and the entire Russia and the Central Asian countries, they are doing the slaughter activities. But India, one good message I can say here, India, for the improvement of pig farming, as like other species, in the first 5-year plan itself, they have started importing germplasm from the temperate region. We have imported the germplasm of large white Yorkshire, Tamsworth, Landrace, Berkshire, Hampshire. All those germplasms were imported during late 60s, early 70s, imported for the improvement of germplasm of the indigenous breeds as a part of first 5-year plan. And so only piggery, it is attracted to establish a slaughterhouse for pigs. No other species has been thought in that moment. So, by the way, by improving the germplasm and to establish the slaughterhouse for pig, why that thought process has come during 70s? It is to attract the people to get the clean, wholesome meat, because those days the piggery is with the socially, economically downtrodden people, and due to the unclean of rearing and unclean of that the wholesome meat, people they never take the pork meat. So to abolish that one and to improve their affinity of the society, our government of India has established of 8 back-end factory during 1970. 1970 itself, 8 bacon factories has been established, and it has been given throughout the India, different region, Aligarh and Madhya Pradesh, Gannavaram, and India, Goa, Maharashtra, our place, Kerala, even Kerala is established during that period. And in the matter of within a matter of 5 years, most of the bacon factories abolished because of improper maintenance or improper planning, improper monitoring. All the things are vanished. Only few. Maharashtra and Kerala, even now, it is doing wonderful job. And now the bacon factory, the renamed as a Deonar Slaughterhouse there in Maharashtra, and here Kerala, it has been Meat Products of India, MPI, Meat Products of India Limited. It's a state government public sector undertaking. It is functioning well. It is the only bacon factory now functioning well for the improvement, and it is the shock absorber for the pig farmer. So you know that while the swine flu time, the problem in the swine flu period, swine pork is unable to slaughter, the people are not taken the pork meat, and those time, and these bacon factory people, they have played the major role. They have taken as much as possible from they have taken up all the mature pigs, slaughter it, and given propaganda to the public. It is safe to eat pork. Swine flu and the pig has no role in it. So the establishment of bacon factory in 1970 they have established, but none of the place is not given the fruitful answer. But Kerala is playing a major role. So what I want to know still is the big gap. Still we have the big gap. For sake of knowledge, we don't have the slaughterhouse for pig. None of the state. Now the NRC is taking some effect, and ACRP also is taking some. ACRP and pigs also taking some effort, and even NRC ICR complex Goa also taking some effort to improve the status of pig farming. Without the pig slaughterhouses, development of slaughterhouses, you cannot convince the public as a clean, wholesome. So till now, we have given that global scenario. There is a gap arrangements. Now I am jumping into the different pillars of the production. So different pillars of the production. As a graduate of the veterinary graduate, you should know different pillars means. Breeds and breeding is one of the pillar. Feeds and feeding is one of the pillar. And third pillar is healthcare management. And last one is that is a marketing and other paraphernalia. You know that establishment of the bacon factory, supply chain, all those become the fourth pillar. Okay. Now we'll go by one. So as a breeds and breeding, you should aware of what all the available germ plasms in the globally. Each and every germ plasm having their own merits and demerits of the economic traits. Economic trait means that trait which has economically important. So I don't want to much on to what is economic traits and what should be the optimum and all. I'm not going to detail. So these are the wide distributed germ plasm available in globally, and this is our indigenous pigs. And this is a very prone for very promising pigs in China. It's a highly prolific animal. It stands in the globally. It stands first. Chinese pigs are highly prolific. This is a germplasm distribution. Next. So after knowing the germplasm and its economic traits, you can jump into the breeding. Before going for the breeding, first important tool is a selection and culling. This is an important tool and process for sustaining and improvement of any herd, any herd means any group of animal. If you want to sustain or maintain the group or to improve the group, this selection and culling is an important tool process in the breeding. First of all, you should understand. You know what is selection, you know what is culling. Selection to select the good germ plasm for the future breeding, and culling is the to remove the uneconomic pigs from the herd. So I am not taking too much time for him to narrate the what are different methods and all. So this has to be done very meticulously. In India, because of not practicing this selection and proper culling, as I told you, we have imported some sirloins and germ plasm 1960s and early 70s, and by late 2005 we have imported Duroc. Kerala is a pioneer organization, and we have imported Duroc 2005 to improve the hybrid vigor. But due to the improper selection, due to the improper way of this management of this tool, I can say we have lost the pure breed line. So you have lost the opportunity to go for hybrid. So why I am stressing this point means, without this, you cannot go for the breeding systems. So breeding system is these are the practicing different methods of breeding system. So every breeding system, every breeding tool, it is for some purpose. The close breeding, line breeding, these two inbreeding method, it is to sustain, maintain the herd. If you want to maintain the herd, you have to closely understand what is close breeding, what is line breeding. If you want to keep the sire line, and line breeding is a very important tool, important method. So if you are not aware of this thing, you cannot maintain a herd. You cannot maintain a herd which you have, you want to for the future purpose. Only with this only you can go for the best germ plasm you can maintain with you. Since in India, we don't practice properly, even to our research station, we are losing our sire lines, what we had early. I told you, in 1950s, 60s, all the good sire lines of the germ plasm we got. And 2005 recently, even the Duroc line, we have lost because of improper line breeding. And this is a outbreeding. You know that all these outbreeding process it is to get the hybrid vigor. To get the hybrid vigor, you can go for outbreeding. In that, very popular one is rotational crossing. Rotational crossing, you can go for maximum 3, you can go for 5 breeds, you can incorporate it and you can rotate it. All the both mother line, sire line can be rotated, and you can go on improve the hybrid vigor in the generation to generation. And in that terminal sire mating, the rotational mating, the terminal sire mating is practiced nowadays. It is the end of the breeding. In the rotational, the end of the thing, the terminal sire is used nowadays as a our Duroc is play the major role for terminal sire mating. So with that, you can get the high lean meat with all your favored or repaired economic traits. This can be incorporated with the high lean meat. The Duroc is playing the major role and played as a terminal sire. So rotational terminal sire mating is now giving the good result nowadays, the present day. So in the breeding, you should understand the reproduction. The reproduction, you know that the pig has the V-shaped, highly convoluted uterus, and it can accommodate 20 to 25 live fetus in it, and it can extend at any level. and it can produce some 30 to 40 fertile ova in a cycle. All those things you should understand. Male side, the peculiarity of the volume of the semen and sperm concentration and the libido, a very important factor for the male, and the conformation and that sex ratio of breeding for the successful breeding, everything, it is a huge level you can understand. Nowadays, the novel technique is artificial insemination. Artificial insemination is nowadays commonly practiced. Easily you can get the skill to collecting the semen by very simple technique, hand technique only. Okay. And you can inseminate by diluting. And you know that the sperms are very sensitive for thermal shock. So the frozen semen technology, it is not succeeded. They are doing some research, but it's not succeeded. Commercially, that liquid chilled semen is giving wonderful result as like natural mating. And these are the catheters commonly used, and this form is very commonly practicing this one. And in the animal, the pig swine reproduction, now even you can inseminate multi-breed embryos. Multi-breed embryos now is a very, very important techniques now people. In a farrowing, you will get different breeds of piglets in a single farrowing. That means the the embryo, the in vitro fertilization of embryo is implanted, infused and deposited, and you will get the different type of breeds in a farrowing. You will get it. That is a novel technique now people are practicing, and that is sex sorted semen also practicing. But all those things are commercially what I weigh, my assumption, they need not to go for such a, because after all, the pig is a food animal. You can use and you can take the meat. No need to go for high-end novel techniques. But this chilled semen artificial insemination is commonly practiced. With that, you can that expenditure on the maintenance of sire line bore is very, very difficult to maintain. That can be minimized. Next pillar, as you know, it's a feeds and feeding. So my initial slides, I told you, high growth rate, high prolificacy, and all these metabolic process will have the high heat increment, and it requires high input also. So the biomass is coming from the input which is the feed we are offering. So we should careful to build up the feed all the input, balanced input to match the output of the high growth rate and the requirement functional stages of the pigs. Okay. So in the early days, these are the forms of feed animal used to like. It's a flake farm. Flake farm means it's just like puppet. The young ones are prefer to take this one. The feed can be given a flake farm. And why I am insisting this too now? Earlier feed is highly playful character. And if you put the mash or pellets, it may consume more, and it is sensitive for respiratory infection, and all the enteric problem and the respiratory problem started from beginning itself. So better you prefer to be feed the animal in a flake form, or else you can give the liquid form in the early days. And when it is started into the after weaning, after the grower stage, always try to offer the feed, the balanced and nutritious feed according to the stages, the standard and all. I'm not going in detail. The standard as prescribed by the NRC, European Union, American standard, and even ICR prescribing the standard according to the breed specific. The standards are breed specific and stage specific. Okay. Here I am insisting on the form of feed animal used to. It's better to give the feed can be given as a pellet form during the grower stage. In the adult stage, it can be mash form. So this is, I told you, no, animal scavenger and omnivorous, and this is a common scenario of the northeastern places. Northeastern places, people used to rear like this. All the homestead farming is like that. All the whatever vegetable house, restaurant place, market place can be fed with this. This is the practicing. Still, it's a scavenging. If you even during my college days, if I across from my native, if I get to the railway station, so starting from Rajavadam to the Chennai, reaching Chennai, every station I can see this pig. So wonderful species. So it is scavenging all the human night soil. It can be clean. The day morning itself it will be clean, and all the leftover of the human being it can taken care. So it is a very good scavenger. Even now, some of the pockets it's practiced because of the strict legislation and enforcement of the local bodies. Now it's people finding difficulty to rear in this thing because of the so many diseases. Every diseases put the blame on pigs. Now I will come to the later slides regarding this. This is a wonderful slide of the feeding manager. If you understand this graph, you can very well manage the animal and the critical points where to play, when to play, how to play. So this is a graph, it's a growth curve. This is a growth curve of any pig. It's at the edge of weaning stage. Okay, if birth stage, it is having the 0. So it is a prenatal growth. It's a prenatal growth means at the birth it can acquire age of 1.5 kg at birth. Okay, so the growth curve starts from here. So it is a postnatal growth. Postnatal after birth only you can manage. So prenatal growth is a mother will take care of. That's why we cannot manage much on that. So here is a postnatal growth curve. It is a standard growth curve. So it is a very fast upline, and when attain the maturity, it will be sustained for a period. Then it slowly decline as the age advances. Okay. So according to the demand, the requirement of the biomass, you have to fix the regime. All your energy level, crude protein level should be high standard. So at this stage, your CP level should be minimum of 22 crude protein. Energy level, minimum of 3000 kilocalories at this stage. Okay. When the age advances, the CP is slowly from 22 to 20, 18, 16 and 14 CP. And calories started from 3000, slowly 2500 and 2000 and here 1800 or 1600. So this is a very important slide. If you put into your memory, you can very well play the role when should given and all the standards as per your requirement. Once animal attain the high body maturity, animal put into the functional stages. The functional stages means either you go for slaughter the animal at this stage or go for breeding. You put the animal into the breeding line. Once you put the breeding, it will conceive. So once it's conceived, it may acquire, it may attain the gestational body weight gain of around 35 to 45 kg weight gain apart from the normal weight gain. So it will acquire that much, it can produce biomass from its biological system. That intensity, you just convince the intensity of biomass, it has to produce in the womb, in the uterus. The system that much intensity animal is facing at the gestation. So you should double careful while feeding the pregnancy stage. So after following the gestation, animal will furrow. So immediately after furrowing, it is a depletion of the biomass from the dam and the depletion through lactation. So it will feed the animal during the suckling period. Animal will deplete its energy or bio and all the nutrients through milk to the young one. So animal will lose the here. Animal will gain the body weight 35 to 45 kg. Here 20 to 30 kg, even more than 35 kg also. 20 to 30 kg of the biomass will be depleted from the base body. So animal will fluctuate the bio energy, that is threshold energy. It has that much pressure it has facing. So if you should understand this growth and gestational gain and lactational loss. These are the three functional stages. You should understand accordingly. You should feed your available feed. Any feed, I don't specify here. I told you no. The feed can be a company feed or your own feed or swill feed or any feed. It always should be, you can be that according to their preference, according to the requirement, and should be clean. These are the strategy you should follow. So next pillar is a very important one is housing. So breeding already we discussed, feeding is discussed. Now it is a housing. Why I am giving housing is very important. As I told you it's a poor thermoregulatory mechanism, and the pigs are very, very, very poor thermoregulator. And I told you the earlier slide, it is has a high metabolic rate because of high growth rate, because of high functional activity, gestation and lactation. You know that the metabolic process has high heat increment will animal have, and whatever the increment, it cannot cope up to maintain because of the insulation, the fat insulation. It has subcutaneous fat insulation, and it's very sensitive, susceptible for respiratory organ diseases because of high activity of respiration. Only with that only animal dissipate the heat. So if you are not provide the proper environment, animal is highly sensitive for stress and it leads to the even sudden death. So that's why I am giving more emphasis of the thermo-comfort zone. Thermo-comfort zone will vary just here. It will vary stage by stage. Every stage it will vary. You see the variation. If the newborn, it requires high end 93 Fahrenheit. But if you see the mother, nursing mother, it requires 70. So both on mother and dam in the single house, farrowing house, both on mother will be there. So you have the clever enough to manage the children, that piglets should give the high-end heat increments, heat enrichment, and for nursery, but for lactating gills, lactating sows, you should give lower 55 Fahrenheit. You should give the cool environment to the mother and hot environment to the piglets. So you will be double careful. But when you are intensive or when you see the any farrowing house, this difference you cannot get now. You have to always suggest the farmer. Mother should be the cooler environment, and piglets should enrich with the hotter environment. And as age advances, you have to slowly decline the heat increment. Okay. And this is regarding the thermo-neutral zones. But thermo-comfort zone is not only regarding the heat and other things, all other physiological parameter and sociological parameter is playing the very, 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 very important role. Physiological parameter means I told you that activity, metabolic activity, and the children is more as a growth, it is increased. As the age advances, it is decreased. It's a physiological activity. And sociological activity, animal prefer the children. Piglets always is a group activity. So always the piglets should be group housing. You put into the group housing. And as the age advances, grower, you slowly reduce the group. The intensity of the stocking density will go on reduce. So if the beginning, you can put it as a 30 to 50 animal, 50 piglets can be grouped in the weaned piglets. So after slowly grower, the intensity of group size can be reduced to 10. When if you have put the breeding line, it should be always restricted to the 10. About the social activity. So animal will feel comfort while fulfill the thermoneutral zones and environmental factors and sociological factors. Then only animal you will get maximum profitability. Otherwise, it will feel stress. The stress means you are inviting the diseases. So this is a available housing system prevail throughout the globally. Okay, this is a European style. Nowadays, it's very difficult to maintain. I told you, very difficult to maintain. It's a high-end cost. That's why in Europe, that housing system slowly vanished because very high-end cost, and even the waste problem has more. Okay, now people are going to the specialized farm. Here, high capital investment. High capital investment. It is a specialized farming. It is an environmentally controlled housing. This is also require high-end capital cost. This is the old pattern of the Europe and American area flowing, and this is a furrowing crates. And as you know, even European Union, America, and even to the government of India is a banned of this furrowing crates. Okay, please note it. It is a ban, but people are practicing even now. Okay, government of India is a ban. It is an unethical way of housing of pigs. It's against animal cruelty. Okay, so this is a very good flooring type in the piglets. It is a slaughtered floor. Okay, slaughtered floor. It is a concrete. It is a fiber, and these are the specialized farming activities. Okay, these are under high-end, high cost, and it is all those practices are unethical. Okay, this is our local. So in the part of housing, the waste management is a very important. As I told you, not only in America and European Union, even government of India, local bodies insisting about the waste management and control over the pig farm because of it is contaminating the water bodies and it is invading the diseases and it is harboring the diseases. All the blames, health sector, human health sector blames put into the piggery. So you should take care about the waste utilization. You segregate the waste and store the waste and utilize the waste properly. This is a wonderful model of I told you, all the Southeast Asian countries practicing of successful integrated pig farming system models. This is a wonderful. I told you, all South Asian countries, Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, or even to our northeastern countries, Burma, wherever you go, the pig is it is a stable, it provides the stable food without any much resources. This is integrated pig farming, along with the pig, poultry, fish farming, and vegetable cultivation, rice field, and whatever you want, because it will take everything. Pig will take everything. So, and this will provide the manure, and this manure can be utilized for aqua and this vegetable cultivation or rice or any agriculture purpose, fodder production, anything you can. This is a very the China and all, not only China, I told you all the Southeast Asian countries, China is a wonderful model. It is run very successful. I will small topic on the economic important diseases. Here I am not mentioning about the too many diseases, only few diseases. Classical swine fever, FMD, pastoralosis, and brucellosis. These are the very important economic important diseases. You should be very much careful. And health management, while going for health management, these are the area we have to be more given protection of both endo-ectoparasites. Endoparasite means the protection from the worms inside the digestive system, inside the body, and ectoparasites means outside all the lice, mice, mites, and flies. And these are the vector. It's acting as a vector, and it will give the skin lesions, and it will spread the diseases. Okay, to protect the both ectoparasites, you should properly deworm it and properly spray the animal with the ectoparasite, and protect the animal by vaccination against the endemic diseases. Where whichever the diseases is endemically notified, you protect those diseases only with the vaccination. See here, in Tamil Nadu, people are practicing circovirus, swine fever, FMD, and pastoralosis. These are the diseases very important. Okay, so you have to protect, and this concept is a biosecurity measure. It's a very, very important to practice as per OIA manual. All the biotic and abiotic factors has to be curtailed and managed properly to protect the pig from the outside factors. And this is the only important topic. From the farm to fork, farm to fork for table. If you are not properly manage the transportation, whatever you are producing good meat in the farm premises, it is degrading while going for your dining table because of improper management in the transportation. Because your farm is located in some 300 kilometers or 100 kilometers away from the city, and your animals are transported improperly. By the way, as I told you, it is sensitive for heat and is sensitive for stress, and abruptly it will damage, it will deteriorate the quality of your meat. Sometimes even to the death of the animal also happen. So these are the common practicing in India or even Southeast Asian countries, and these are the system practicing. It is a Western people. Now in India, now they are slowly developing such a rack system. How it's coming up. Anyway, it is appreciating. The farmers are slowly practicing this. Okay, next. I told you, no, establishment of back-end factory. Even now, this is the practice. Even now, this is the way of practicing of pork slaughter in India. Okay, but this is not the way to practice. This is the way to practice. Even our back-end factory or MPI, or if you will on their tour, if you want, if you come to across the diurnal slaughterhouse, this is the way of always. Animal should be in line. It should not touch the body. But once it is slaughtered, animal should not, the carcass should not touch the ground, because it will invade the organism. So this is the commonly practicing slaughter mechanism of producing of wholesome pork. So it is a very big gap marketing supply chain of our pork. There is no control, there is no monitoring, there is no initiation. There is no initiation from the government agency. Pathetic situation for the farmer. They will produce a very good meat, but they are unable to fetch the profit, and the middlemen are playing a major play. So please aware about the market chain and supply chain of the present day, and enforce the regulated or monitored markets for the pork. Then only as we vision, the industry can grow. Yes, this is supply chain of pork. This is a zoonotic important diseases, and as I know, it's a tinea, and this is about brucella. This is about swine influenza. I told you, no, this is influenza. This is a Nipah, and whatever the species, whatever the disease, even the Japanese encephalitis during 70s, and even the dengue, even malaria, any diseases, pig is a culprit, because I told you now, it is a simulated body. It is a just resemblant to the immune system of human, and it will harbor anything, everything in it, and it will amplify it. Okay, because of this pig is targeted for any disease, zoonotic, not only zoonotic disease, any disease. So always enforce the strict biosecurity measures. With that only you can come out of this threat. Okay, with that I am completing a small exposure of my way, and I have walked on all these lines. Okay, I am expecting each one of my beloved students be a warrior of swine welfare. Okay, so be as a warrior and act for the betterment of swine, and also betterment of improvement of enhance the farmers' income and social livelihood, and good food, cheapest food for downtrodden people and to the other public too. Okay, thank you. Now I expect you people can interact with me. I am very much happy with you to interact. Okay, fine.
Dr. Kannan, thank you so much. It was an exhaustive session on swine management, and I think you brought about the complete scenario of the swine industry in India, starting from the ancient civilization, how the pig industry has developed over the years. And it was thoroughly an enjoyable session. I know that with your experience and expertise, you have covered most of the aspects of pig industry. I don't think there is any doubt for anyone. And for information, your talk has been live also on YouTube. We have a YouTube link of IDP of Tanuvas, and the students at any point of time, whether the students are from Tanuvas or any university across India, can just go and visit the website of the IDP of Tanuvas. And then if they click the link of YouTube, they'll be able to see your talk. Thank you so much, Kannan. God bless. And it was thoroughly an enjoyable session with all the people present here. On behalf of IDP of Tanuvas, which is supported by the World Bank through ICR, I thank you wholeheartedly.